What's up, YouTube? In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make insane amount of money trading forex with this insane strategy that a lot of people have been using to make insane amount of profits, just like this guy right here who made over $1,800 in just one day, guys. So if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe and smash that notification bell. Let's get started. Audio Jungle. Alright guys, let's get into the video. First thing you guys need to do is you guys need to be using these two indicators right here that I'm using on my charts. The first indicator you want to use is called Elite Algo, and the second indicator you guys want to use is called Elite Oscillator. Now these indicators are not going to be available in your public library, but at the end of the video I'm going to show you guys exactly how you guys can get them on the charts so you guys can use this strategy yourselves. Let's get started. Alright guys, once we have these indicators loaded up on the charts, what we want to do is we want to make sure we have these exact settings up on our indicators. Okay, so if we hover over here where it says Elite Algo version 16, you want to click that settings icon right there. Once you click that icon, you want to make sure that you are copying every single one of my settings right here. Now, for the dashboard, you can choose which one you want to do. If you want the advanced or the simple, it really depends on what time frame you want to trade on, right? Which we'll go over a little bit after in the video, showing you guys exactly what time frame you should be trading on based off what type of trades you want to make. I like having the advanced dashboard because it gives you more information, but the drawback to that is that when I'm scrolling through charts, it will load a little bit slower. So I have to be a little more patient and let the indicator load. That's the one drawback of using the advanced dashboard versus the simple one where it just loads instantly. The second thing you guys want to make sure you have on is you do not want to be using the normal mode of this indicator. Instead, you want to be using the trend scalping mode. After that, what you want to do is you want to show in the trend cloud settings, you want to turn on show trend cloud and make sure it's on the long-term trend cloud. That's pretty much it for these settings right here. This doesn't really matter. You can leave this on or off. Because we are on the trend scalping mode, this right here is kind of voided. So now we have that settings for Elite Algo out of the way. Now we have to do the settings for the Elite Oscillator, guys. So what we want to do, again, go back down here, click on the settings icon, guys, and we want to make sure that under strategy we are under the confirmation mode. Very, very important. Once we have that selected, the rest don't really matter. Okay, after you've loaded up the indicators on your charts, guys, it's gonna look something like this. The colors may be different, but overall the functionality will be the same. All right guys, let's get into the strategy. So the first thing, guys, I want to talk about is time frames, which ones to use, right? It really depends on what type of trader you want to be. If you want to be a scalper, then what you want to do is you want to be using the 1 minute to 5 minute time frame. If you guys don't know what a scalper is someone who likes to trade and close that trade within minutes, guys. Your trades are really, really fast. You're pretty much doing the fastest type possible of trading, and you do not want to be holding a trade longer than like a couple hours. So that's called scalping. And if you want to do scalping, you want to use the 1 minute up to the 5 minute time frame. You can select those up here if you're not familiar with it. So over here, I have the 1 minute right there, the 3 minute right there, and the 5 minute right there, guys. Next up, guys, is the intraday trader. Now, if you want to do intraday trading where you hold a position, let's just say 1 hour to maybe 3 hours, and so basically you're buying in the morning, selling in the afternoon, that type of thing, guys, what you want to be using is the 10-minute time frame, the 15-minute time frame, or the 30-minute time frame. Those are the time frames you guys want to be using if you want to do intraday trading. And lastly, guys, if you want to do a swing trader, so you're holding a position for at least a couple of days, it could be anywhere from like 24 hours to like 48 hours, even up to like 3 days, like 72 hours. What you want to be using is you want to be using the 1 hour time frame up to the 4 hour time frame. The larger the time frame, the longer to be in a trade. Very, very simple. So you have to make sure to trade the way you want to trade. So what's your preference? Just because someone's successful doing scalping, that does not mean you're going to be successful doing scalping. Make sure you are trading based off what you enjoy. That way you will have a much higher success rate. Tip number 2, guys, is you guys want to be trading during the high volume hours of the market only, guys. You do not want to be placing trades when there's no volume in the market. This will make it a lot harder for you to predict the trend that's happening and to stick with the trend that's happening. So make sure you are only trading during the high volume hours. And if you're not familiar with that, guys, the high volume hours are the London session and the New York session. As you can see right here, it's showing you exactly what time the London session starts and what time the New York session starts. So right here we see that the London session starts around 3 o'clock in the morning and ends around 12 p.m. The New York session opens around 8 o'clock in the morning, guys, and ends around 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Now for the New York session, you're going to start to see a little bit of volume die off around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. After 2 o'clock, stop trading, do not trade, and only trade during the London session and the beginning of the New York session. This will help your trades tremendously, especially when it comes to trading with the volume, guys. Going back to the strategy, very, very simple. Let's get started. Basically, guys, with this, what we're looking for is we're looking for the trend to go into the long-term trend, right? So for example, right here, we have the short-term trend cloud right here that comes underneath the candles. you can see it's either red or green. And over here, you have the larger trend, which is the big green cloud you see right there, guys. So basically what this means, guys, is you only want to be taking buy orders if you are in a green long-term trend, and you only want to be taking sell orders if you are in a big red trend, as you see right here, guys. What are the conditions for a buy? Very simple, guys. What you want to look for is you want to look for the small term cloud right here to turn green, guys. So obviously over here we can see that this cloud went from red right here. It's really small, but you can see it. It went from red to green right there, guys. So this would have been an area where we want to place a trade. As soon as it went green, we can look down to the oscillator and we see that this over here is green as well. We have a double confirmation of a buy signal right there. So this is actually where we want to place a trade. When we place a trade, we're going to enter a position here. And what we want to do is we want to set the stop loss underneath the last swing low, which would have been right there. And we want to have two take profits, guys. The first take profit will be a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, okay, which is right here. And the second take profit, guys, would be a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, which would have been right there, guys. Okay, what we want to do, guys, is once the first take profit gets hit, we want to raise the stop loss to break even, and we want to secure some of the profits. Now it's up to you to decide how much you want to secure, but typically I like to secure about 50% of the profits once it hits take profit number 1. So that's pretty much how the trading looks like, guys. It's pretty simple. That would have been one successful trade right there. Now, as you can see, guys, right now we have the trend, the small term trend, coming back down and crossing into a red position. Now, normally this would indicate a sell, right? It's time to take a sell order. But what we want to do, guys, is we want to, again, only trade with the long-term trend. So, for example, just because there's a small short-term trend change right here, we do not want to be taking this trade right here because we are still in the long-term trend. So we're going to completely ignore this trade and not take it, guys. Okay, very, very simple. So over here, again, we have another buy trade. We can see where it went from red, then it went to green. So over here, would have had the stop loss slightly below the last swing low. This last swing low would have been right here, guys. So we want stop loss to be slightly below that. We want the first take profit, guys, to be, again, a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, which would have been this. And we want the second take profit, guys, to be a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, guys. So as you can see right here, guys, what happened was it came down, it went up, sorry, it hit your first take profit, and at that time you should have increased your stop loss and brought it to break even. Now what would have happened is you would have been stopped out, right? But you would have secured profit along the way, so that's automatically a win, and you never lost any money. Now what happens is you can enter the trade again because it went from red to green again. As you can see over here, it had a slight red change before going to green again. So you could have entered right here again, guys, another trade looking like this. Your stop loss would have slightly before the swing low. So this candle right here would have been the swing low. Your take profit, the first one, would have been, again, a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. So somewhere down here. And then the second one, guys, a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio where we can take the complete profit. Now you could have stayed in this trade the whole time if you want to, or if you know how to tell the market's going up or stay up. But if you guys are following these rules, guys, I guarantee you guys will have a high win rate and you'll make a lot of money trading this strategy, guys. Now let's look at a short example. Okay, so we're gonna take this out. We can see that right here we have a cross from green to red, right, guys? We want to enter when it turns red. So we've entered right here. The stop loss would have been slightly behind the last swing high. So that would have been the last swing high right here. The take profit, guys, the first one, again, we want to enter on a candle. So the entry would have been at the beginning of the candle. And what we want to do, guys, right here, as we can see, I have a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Very simple, guys. And we take profit at the 1-to-1. That's it. Move the stop loss to break even. It would have came back up, closed out our stop loss. We would have closed on a trade, but since we took profit on the first take profit that was hit, we made money on this trade as well. That's 3 for 3 trades on this chart, guys, and we can keep giving these kind of trades. For example, over here we have another short opportunity where we were in a red trend. The candles went from the trend went from green to red over here. We would have taken the trade at the beginning of that candle. The stop loss would have been slightly above the last swing high, which was up here. And as you can see, this hits take profit number 2, guys. Very, very easy. That's pretty much how the trading strategy goes. Very, very simple to follow, guys. All right, guys, let me show you guys another example, guys, on another buy signal, just so you kind of get the hang of it. So another buy signal right here, what we do, we see it was a red trend, came back up, turned into a green right here. We would have taken the entry at the beginning of the candle, guys. Stop loss would have been a swing low. Again, this would have hit take profit number 2, guys. Another winning trade right there, guys. Very, very simple to use. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you guys a couple of live trades using it. All right, guys, so this is an example of a trade right here. Check this out. We see that we are in a long-term bearish trend, right? So it's a red trend, okay, on the cloud. It went from green for the short-term cloud and it turned into a red cloud right here, as we can see. What we want to do now, guys, is we want to place a short right there on this candle, guys, and we want to make sure that we place our stop loss above the last swing high. So the stop loss will be right here, around 11 pips on the 5-minute time frame. And we want to do is we want to have a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio for take profit number 1, and take profit number 2 would be up here, guys. Down here, guys, at a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. So let's just put a trend line right here. So our horizontal line here around halfway through at the 1.1. So this would be our first take profit once it touches that line. Second take profit, the one we completely exited trade, is once we hit this line down here. So let's run this trade and let's see what happens, guys. As we can see, the price starts coming down, guys, very, very shortly. Boom. Right there, guys. Our first take profit got hit, and I guarantee it's going to hit our second take profit right there. Our second take profit, guys, got hit right here on this trade. Very, very simple. Now let me show you guys a buy example of that. All right, guys, here's another example of a buy position right here. Check this out. So as we can see, we are in a long-term green trend established with this cloud right here being green. And we see that the short-term trend cloud right here went from red and turned green over here, guys. So what we want to do here is we want to place our buy position. So the buy would be right there. The stop loss will be slightly underneath the last swing low, which would be right here, guys. But again, 1-to-1 risk reward ratio here for the first take profit, and 2-to-1 for the second take profit, guys. And what we want to do is want to run this trade, and we'll see exactly what happens with this trade, guys. Check this out. Boom, right there, guys. Both of your take profits just got hit with that crazy candle right there. This is pretty much how you trade this strategy. It's very simple, very beginner friendly, guys. And as long as you practice good risk management, guys, where you're only trading 1 to 5% of your account per trade, guys, and only have up to 5 trades going on at the same time, guys, because you do not want to over leverage. Make sure you follow those rules. 1 to 5% risk maximum per trade, and only have 4 to 5 trades happening at a time maximum, guys. You do not want to over leverage when it comes to trading, because that is how you blow an account. Because there's no such thing as a 100% win rate. Even though this strategy here will give you a very high win rate, maybe about 65, 70, 80%, depending on the market conditions, you can still get 5 losses in a row. And if you're not careful with your risk management, you can blow your account, guys. So make sure that you guys are always following these rules. Okay, very, very important that you guys do proper risk management and you follow the strategy exactly how it's supposed to be made. Okay, don't deviate from the strategy, guys, if you want to be successful using this strategy. And that's pretty much it, guys. Now I'm going to show you guys how to get these indicators for yourself. Basically, very, very simple, guys. What you want to do is simply want to go to myelitesignals.com. And once you're on this website, guys, you just want to get access to the indicators. Once you get access to the indicators, what's going to happen is that you're going to have an invite only screen like this right here. And it's going to show you Elite Algo version 16 and Elite also version 4. And this is how you add them on your charts, guys. Very, very simple. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. And if you guys like this video or want to see more of this strategy, make sure you let us know in the comments down below as well. And please subscribe to help us out with the YouTube algorithm, guys. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a good day.